Hey guys, welcome into Faith and Football. My name is Neil and I will be your host. Big throttle up Thursday for you today. Are you ready? Are you ready to throttle up into the weekend? Boom. Look, right now we're getting ready to throttle up our lineups. We got Thursday night football. Not a really great matchup, but hey, it's football. It's kind of like pizza. Even when it's bad, it's good. And there's a couple of fantasy implications in Thursday night's game. But before we get into that, we're getting into, that's right, the faith part. Because remember, here at Faith and Football, faith always comes first. Now, I'll catch a verse from my pastor, I'll catch a verse from my reading. But today's verse is coming from Steve Furtick, and I apologize if I'm saying the name wrong, but I'm going to put a link in this video to his video on YouTube. If you have not found him yet, please do check out the video and please subscribe to his channel. He is an outrageous speaker, is extremely entertaining, but very to the point. And look, if you don't get stirred up by his preaching, there's something wrong. You need to check yourself, okay? So I listened to one of his sermons, and it was called "Getting Out of Your Feelings." He used Moses and the people of Israel as they were leaving Egypt in the book of Exodus as his point of reference in his preaching. So that's what I'm drawing on today. And this is a moving forward type of message. It's okay to deal with your feelings and to recognize them, but don't stay there. You got to be the person that God intended you to be and not be the person that you used to be. Okay. All of us have made mistakes. All of us have messed up, but God has given us grace, like Steve says, over our greatest failure, over our greatest embarrassment. He has given you grace and mercy to move past that into the place where he intended for you. Just like he intended the Israelites to inherit the promised land. He intended them to leave Egypt, to move forward, okay, to move past the Red Sea. And he talks about a green light at the Red Sea. God's giving you the okay to go ahead. But listen, here's what it says. Exodus 14, verse 13. It says, but Moses, now you know, guys, Moses was a really influential guy. I mean, he got the entire nation out of Egypt. He told the people, don't be afraid. Just stand still and watch the Lord rescue you today. The Egyptians you see today will never be seen again. The Lord himself will fight for you. Just stay calm. So he's giving this great motivational speech. The Israelites are going, man, let's just go back to Egypt. We made a mistake. Should have never listened to you. We were better off there than we are here around the wilderness. No food, no water, no nothing. We're going to die out here. Moses is like, hold on, guys. Just stay calm. Just stay where you're at. Focus. Just stay calm. Wait on the Lord. As soon as he gets this out of his mouth, and this is what I love about Steve's sermon, he says that he gave him a beep beep. He gave him a nudge. You know, when you stopped at a green light and the guy behind you is like, hey, the light's green, go. Usually that's me. Usually I'm the guy going honk, honk, beep, beep, get out the way. Come on, light's green. This is God saying, beep, beep, go forward. I got something for you. Right after he says that, verse 15, he says, then the Lord said to Moses, why are you crying out to me? Tell the people to get moving. Moses just told him, stay still. God's telling him, move forward. Go ahead. You need to get where I intend you to be. Okay? Stop resting where you're at. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Stop second guessing God. Stop second guessing yourself. You've got a drive. You've got an ambition. You've got a desire to do something. Do it. Go forward, but go forward with God. Look, he's going to be there. Okay. He's not going to be driving. He's your co-pilot. He's telling you where to go. Okay. He's telling you what direction to take. All you got to do is listen. A lot of times when I'm driving with my wife, she's my co-pilot. There's sometimes I don't know where I'm going. She's got the GPS. She's telling me where I gotta go. If I don't listen to her, which sometimes I don't, I'm not gonna lie. I don't listen to her sometimes. Husbands, listen to your wives more. Preaching to myself right now. But listen, you gotta listen to your co-pilot. If you don't listen to the person that's giving you the directions, you're not gonna get anywhere. You're gonna be lost. So I ask you today, are you listening to the one who has been in your tomorrow? Are you listening to the one who's got the game plan for your life? The answer is no. Then the next question has got to be, why not? And what are you going to do to change it? I want you to chew on that for this week until Tuesday. I want you to go through your weekend. I want you to pay attention to the world around you, and what is God telling you? What is he speaking to you? What is he telling you that you need to get out of? What is he telling you that you need to move forward in? Is it your job? Is it your relationship? Is it your family? What is it? Is there something that you've been wanting to do, but you've been holding back, thinking that you're not good enough, you're not worthy, that there's no way you can get this done, but God is making a way for you? I'm asking you to pay attention to the Lord's voice. So I hope that kind of stirred you up a little bit. Please, in the link below, click on Steve, watch the entire sermon. It's not that long. It's only like 20 minutes. You can drive longer than that, a lot of us. Okay, a lot of us have a longer commute to work than that. Put it on your Bluetooth. Listen to it in the car. It's going to be worth it. I'm telling you, it's going to change your day, if not more. So, and Steve, if you happen to watch this, keep up the good work. I love your preaching, brother. So let's get into the football aspect of faith in football. Some of us have some decisions to make. Some of us have, issues that we got to work through. So I'm hoping that I can be a voice to help you through that. We're going to talk start sits. We're going to take a look at some waiver wire tricks and tips right quick before we get into the start sits for week 4. And before we go any further, I always have to thank my sponsors, Keller's Bakery in Youngsville. Look, if you were in the Lafayette area, take the short trip to Youngsville. It's at 627 Lafayette Street off the Youngsville Highway. Find them on Facebook at Keller's Bakery on Facebook. You can place your order there as well. Listen, they've got baklava off the chain. They've got king cakes basically year round. They're cupcakes, cookies, cakes, birthday cakes. You got a birthday anniversary coming up, give them a call, place an order. And while you're down there picking it up, tell them Faith in Football sent you and get 2 free mini cupcakes on me. Look, I already worked out the deal with Dusty. Go ahead and tell him that Neil from Faith in Football sent you. Get you 2 free mini cupcakes. Let me know how they are and what flavor you got, okay? Love those guys down there. And we're coming up. Remember, when the Saints play the Falcons, the water bet between Dusty and I is that the Saints get swept by the Falcons. The loser gets doused in front of Keller's. And we'll put it live or put it on Twitter, which you can find me at Twitter at Faith, the letter N, Football 1. Okay, if you're on Twitter, hit me up with your questions there as well, or you down the bottom you can leave a comment in this video and I'll answer all your questions directly. Okay, guys, one of the perks of being a one-man show. So, but I'm only a one-man show when it comes to the program and stuff. I have a team behind me, my family, who is supportive, and I'm actually recording this on Wednesday at about 5 o'clock. So family's being supportive. Usually wife's at work, kids at school, and I'm doing this real early in the morning when everyone's asleep or when they're at work and I'm by myself. But they're being supportive and let me do it now. So here's what we're talking about, guys. We're going to pull up some news for the league, some alerts. So if you're not on the Sleeper app, look, I don't know what you're doing, guys. I really don't. I don't know where you're getting the information from. But I'm telling you right now, if you're not getting it from the Sleeper app, it's not as quick. It's delayed. You wonder why you miss out on that player that got dropped. You wonder why you don't bench someone who's hurt that you didn't know about. Sleeper app, guys. Look, I'm on it right now. The Sleeper app is phenomenal. It is quick. It's easy layout. It's easy to operate. It's not complicated, guys. Just download the Sleeper app. You will thank me later, okay? Bit of news coming out right now. We got James White is dealing with a hip injury that is expected to end his 2020 season. What does this mean for you? This means that if you were the Damian Harris owner, which just got dropped in our league, why I don't know, but if you were the Damian Harris owner, you just got an uptick. James White out of the picture, usually the pass catching back for New England. But guess what? Now we got Damian Harris, who is locked into the RB1 position. You want an RB1, you want him on the cheap. If you haven't got him, go after him right now as soon as you see this. And hopefully none of your league mates have Sleeper and have been told about this news, or they haven't kept up on what's now going on in the fantasy world, okay? If you're listening to this, you're getting this news now, use it, take some action, guys, okay? MVS from the Packers, he is out. He's got a DNP, which is did not participate in practice for today, Wednesday. Keep an eye on that. Not a whole lot of fantasy implication on that because you're going to be starting Devontae Adams anyway. They are playing Pittsburgh this week, so please limit your expectations as to what's going to be going on. TJ Watt may or may not be back from that injury that sidelined him earlier. Keep an eye on that as well. George Kittle did not play or did not participate Wednesday, but is expected to play. Now, he was outstanding and back to his old self on the game Sunday. Put up 17 points in our league. T. Higgins, wide receiver for Cincinnati Bengals, is out versus the Jags. And like I said, that Thursday night game, if you have any Bengals or Jaguars going in Thursday night, please make sure that they are out of your flex position. Okay, they've got to, if they're a wide receiver, make sure they're in the wide receiver position. If they're running back, make sure they are in their running back position. So, look, you got James Robinson, you got Joe Mixon, make sure they're in your running back position. You got Jamar Chase, you got A.J. Boyd. If you're starting him, if you got Laviska Shenault, DJ Shark, any of those guys, Marvin Jones, anybody from any wide receiver, make sure they're in your wide receiver position. Why? I've told you before, but I'll say it again for those who missed. If you're new to the show, down the bottom, subscribe, like, and share, and you get some more news like this and more tips. Because if they are in your flex position, you are locked. If something happens later in the week to one of your players, you are without options at that point, okay? You've got to have your flex position open so that you can flex a player if something happens between Thursday, Sunday, or Thursday and Monday, depending upon who's playing when, okay? Will Fuller misses practice with an injury is something else to keep an eye on as the Miami Dolphins are apparently falling apart right now. The Titans also could be without both A.J. Brown and Julio Jones. Julio is dealing with a lower body injury. It just says a leg injury. They're playing the Jets. Hello, Derrick Henry. It's going to be crazy, okay? you're a Derrick Henry owner, congratulations. Also, Josh Gordon has just signed the other day with KC. He's currently a Chief. He's got to pass his. He has passed his physical, and he has signed a contract officially. So, if you are in need of wide receiver help, he might be a good stash for you. Personally, I don't see him being any. He could be a 2. He could be a wide receiver 2, or he could be garbage. He hasn't played in a while. There's a lot of targets. I think the only people that this really affects, McCole Hardman, Demarcus Robinson, and CEH. Yeah, sorry, CEH. Somebody else to mess up your fantasy production and your fantasy value. Sorry, I already went over this last show about CEH. Definitely need to trade him if you can. You're not going to get that much for him. I don't know if I would drop him right now, but keep an eye on him because this could be a Zeke, last year's Zeke thing where once he has a really good game, you could trade him on a high note and let him be someone else's headache, okay? The Colts and Marlon Mack have mutually agreed to seek a trade. That's why he was a healthy scratch. Jonathan Taylor is currently the bell cow, and Nyheim Hines recently got extended. So Marlon Mack, while healthy, coming back from an ACL injury, could also be something that you want to look into, okay? That's all of the news that I have for you guys today. Let's get into the starts. We'll keep it on a high note, and we'll end on a little less, but I'll try to bring you guys up at the end, okay? So, quarterback of the weeks, or quarterbacks of the week, Sam Darnold versus Dallas. Look, there's questions at running back. They just traded for CJ Anderson. They're sending Dan Arnold, the postman, going to Jacksonville for CJ Anderson and a draft pick. So, Sam Darnold, without CMC, yes, he's got Chuba Hubbard. And if you haven't picked up Chuba Hubbard, what are you waiting for? If he's still available in your league, go get him. You remember Mike Davis last year? Pretty valuable, okay? So, CJ coming in does raise a little question. It could just be insurance, but definitely get Chuba Hubbard. He's the guy who already knows the system. CJ is basically right now just a backup, but Chuba Hubbard has that job right now. How that's going to play out in the future, we don't know yet. But Sam Darnold, look, he already has a mind meld with DJ Moore. Robbie Anderson's still out there. While not doing that well, he's still there. Chuba Hubbard is more than capable of stepping in the Christian McCaffrey role. Maybe not as productive, but definitely helpful to Sam Darnold in the passing game. And they're playing Dallas. I mean, okay, might not be able to run that well on Dallas, but you can definitely pass on. I mean, come on. You saw what Tom Brady and the Bucs did week 1. Yes, I know it's the defending Super Bowl champs, and it still makes me sick to say, but they did throw all over that secondary. I think my local high school team could probably throw all over that secondary. But regardless, it's going to be a shootout with Dallas and Carolina. Look, they're going to put up points. Dallas is going to put up points. Sam Darnold is going to have to throw the ball. There's going to be a lot of production here, okay? Get you some. If you are having a hard week at quarterback, if you've got one of the guys that I'm about to bring up, and I know I'm going to shock you guys with my sets of the week at quarterback, but I'll give you a little background. I'll give you a little reasoning why, okay? But I'm telling you right now, go get you Sam Darnold, at least to use for a substitute for your bye week, okay? Also, Joe Burrow versus the Jags on Thursday night. Look, I get it. The Jags are a dumpster fire. They're in a rebuilding mode. Joe is going to throw the ball. Okay, he's just going to. There's going to be production here. Okay. Go get you some Joe Burrow this week against the Jags. Also against the Jags, you want to get you some Joe Mixon. Fire up Joe Mixon. If you've been worried to start him, don't worry about it. Okay. And also, we're going to take a look real quick. I want you to take a look at Joe Mixon's upcoming schedule, okay? So, Joe Mixon, he's got Jacksonville, Green Bay, Detroit, okay? Look, Jacksonville, Green Bay, and Detroit are absolute cupcake defenses to run against, okay? Green Bay, they open the doors and go, here, please run into the end zone, okay? Detroit, we'll see what happens with them, okay? But I'm telling you, Green Bay and then Jacksonville first, you definitely want to fire up Joe Mixon early and often, okay? The next guy, and it pains me to bring this up, Cordell Patterson. And you're like, wait a minute, why is it paying you to bring up Cordell Patterson? Have you looked at the schedule? They're playing Washington. Washington's defense is dead last in the rush, okay? They're just not what they used to be. What happened? I don't know. But I'm telling you, this 2021 season is on its head when it comes to defense, okay? Teams that we thought were going to be good are bad. Teams that we thought were going to be bad are good. It makes no sense. I don't understand it. I don't understand how the Saints are like the number one fantasy or one of the number one fantasy defenses in the league right now. It's early in the season, but that's what it is. Cordell Patterson, not only is he a running back, but he's also listed as a wide receiver in some platforms. So you can start him as either one. So you got questions, you want to start somebody else at running back, great. Still put in Cordell. You want to start somebody at wide receiver, great. Still put in Cordell. They manufacture touches for this guy, okay? They're without Russell Gage. That means that Pitts and Ridley are both having a phenomenal game against Washington. And Cordell Patterson, mark it down, okay? They're willing to play him. They're willing to get him touches, and they're willing to play him often. Also, Brandon Ayuk. I know. Brandon Ayuk was having all this kind of drama first part of the season. Now he's back to what we saw the last few games of the season last year. Fire him up against Seattle. This is no longer the Legion of Boom. There are questions at running back in San Francisco. Look, I think that I missed a call from Kyle Shanahan to play running back for San Fran, okay? That's how bad it is, okay? If I got a phone call, I don't know if I would go because I'd probably come back with a busted knee, okay? So if you got Brandon Ayuk, if he is out there on your waiver wire, which somebody might get disgusted and just pitched him. You never know. Happened in our league. Somebody got disgusted with Mike Evans. Why, I don't know. And just straight up dumped them. Yes, I picked him up. Next up, DJ Moore. You guys know I love to pick on Dallas. Come on. Their defense is horrible, and their offense is out of this world, and they score a lot of points. Who wouldn't want that in fantasy football? You know you got to go get you some DJ Moore. Like I said, he's got the mind meld with Sam Darnold. That is Sam Darnold's boy right now. Okay, forget that chemistry that we were talking about preseason. You got to move forward. See what I did there? The message. Did you hear the message? Did you fast forward through the message? Go back and listen to it. He's moving forward. Okay, he got a new toy playing with it in Carolina. His name is DJ Moore. Okay, next up, tight end. I got one for you this week. I got to pause. Hold on. I can't say this without drinking something. By the way, Body Armor, if you're listening, I love your product. I wouldn't mind an endorsement. My kid loves it. It's out of this world. So does the wife. Strawberry bananas off the chain. So anyway, here's what I couldn't say without taking a drink of something. Dalton Schultz. I know it's crazy, but listen, I'm going to show you right here why I'm saying what I'm saying, okay? Let's bring up Shultz. Dalton Schultz. Guys, 26 points. That's crazy. 69% of snaps, 7 targets, 6 receptions, 80 yards, 2 touchdowns. Yes, they were probably in garbage time, but he's still there. They're still looking for him. That's why Amari Cooper didn't do anything on Monday night against Philly. Okay? Dak had 3 touchdowns. 2 of them were to this guy. If you need a tight end, if your tight end is not doing anything, he is the number 5 tight end in PPR. Number 5. 5. Okay? You want to know who's above him? Look at this. Guys, we got Kelsey, Waller, Kittle, Higbee, Hawkinson. Oh, I went up a little far. Sorry, guys. Anyway, just know that Dalton Schultz is up there, okay? I'm telling you guys right now, go get you some Dalton Schultz if you need help at tight end, okay? He's a security blanket. He's going to be there. He's going to get some touches, and Dak trusts him, apparently. Next up, defense. I got 2 for you, but 1 comes with the disclaimer, okay? The Titans versus the Jets. If you can stash them on your roster, do so, because next week, week 5, guess who they get? The Jags. They get the Jets this week. They get the Jags next week. Guys, this is custom made, okay? They're going to be running the ball with Derrick Henry. That means time of possession is going to be minimal for the opposing offense. That means that their defense is going to be fresh. And Zach Wilson's a turnover machine. So is Trevor Lawrence. Okay? These are 2 back-to-back rookie quarterbacks that you get. What more can you ask for? Now, here's my disclaimer. Detroit's defense, if the Titans are already taken, nobody's going to have Detroit. Trust me, nobody is going to be stashing Detroit's defense on the bench. But here's the thing. Keep an eye on who Chicago throws out there at starting quarterback. If they throw out Dalton, nix the Detroit thing. But if they throw out Nick Foles or they keep Justin Fields out there, look, Justin Fields gave up I think 5 sacks last game, a couple interceptions. It was ugly, to say the least. Plus, now he's got his coach saying all 3 quarterbacks are up for the starting gig. Nagy, you don't keep your job like that, bro. Come on, man. Think, dude. You should have come out and said, look, we're going to evaluate Dalton at a little later this week. We're going to see how he's progressing, and we'll make a decision then. At least it buys you some time. It gives the rookie some confidence. This guy, even though he might not be broken up externally, internally, mentally, upstairs, this dude's gone. Okay? He should be on the IR for mental anguish. Okay? So, with that being said, needless to say, I have dropped any shares that I've had of Justin Fields for whoever. Pick somebody. Don't care, because it looked ugly. I'm not about that. Not for a backup. I'll stream before I do that. Anyway, my sets of the week. Brace yourself. Lamar Jackson. I know. Calm down. Hold on. Calm down. I know. But look, against Detroit, that shouldn't have been a contest. Shouldn't come down to a record-setting NFL longest field goal from Justin Tucker. It just shouldn't have happened. Okay. They should have handled this. Yes, he played phenomenal against KC, but is this an issue of play up to the level of competition? Look, he's facing Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy B is not that important. He's good, but he's not Lamar Jackson good. He's not Pat Mahomes good. That's what Lamar gets up for. Plus, Denver's got a decent defense. I mean, they got a really good defense. So, If you've got another option, if you've got a better matchup, pivot away from Lamar Jackson and set him down, put somebody else in that's got a better matchup. You know you got somebody on your bench, but if that somebody else is Justin Herbert, you might want to pump the brakes on that. Why? It's not because he's facing the Raiders, who have just been playing out of their mind football. It's because he got a hand injury. Didn't hear about that, did you? He had his hand wrapped before he left the field last week. That's right. Before he left Arrowhead Stadium, after beating Mahomes and the Chiefs. Yes, he beat Mahomes and the Chiefs. He had his hand wrapped. So even if he is healthy, do you really think they're going to have this man throw the ball 40 plus times? No. What they're going to do is they're going to hand the ball off to Eckler. They're going to have short, intermediate passes. They're going to rely heavily on the run game and time of possession. So if you were expecting the Justin Herbert that you saw last week against Kansas City, it's not going to happen. These are the Raiders. There's a aura about them. They are going to come and smash him in the mouth. Okay, trust me. I've seen it before. It's going to happen again. I don't want you part of that. Next up, running back, Aaron Jones. I know Mr. 4, 5, 20, 50 touchdown man himself, but this ain't Detroit. He's playing Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is tough on the run. Got somebody else to pivot to. I want to consider it, okay? Next up, Nick Chubb. I know. It's Nick Chubb. It's Minnesota. But Kareem Hunt, ring a bell? Kareem Hunt is actually doing better than Nick Chubb. So go figure that one out, okay? You got a better option, please. Nick Chubb. Plus, Hunt's ranked number 7. Chubb's ranked number 11. If you're the Kareem Hunt manager, good job. You got real good value. If you're the Nick Chubb manager, you got what you drafted. No surprise, no up, no down, just okay. But I'm telling you, against Minnesota's defense, listen, this is going to be a shootout. It's going to come into Kirk Cousins is going to be chucking the ball all over the place if Dalvin Cook is once again missing this game and you got Alexander Madison. Okay. You're going to have to look at the game plan. You're going to have to look at the injury report. You're going to have to see who's playing who. If this turns into a shootout, watch out, because I don't think that Cleveland is up for that, minus Jarvis Landry. Okay. Wide receiver, sitting down, Hollywood Brown. Yes, look, Hollywood is facing the Denver defense. I spoke about this when I was with Lamar Jackson in the quarterback section. Same thing. Number one, they don't pass. This is a run-heavy team. It's a run-first team, okay? Plus, Rashad Bateman, Miles Boykin, both of them are back on the active roster. So, Hollywood Brown losing touches to 2 guys, one who got brought in and one who got drafted really high. Okay, this is their number 1 draft pick. So, who do you think is going to get more attention? Okay, now, next one, Keenan Allen versus the Raiders. Look, same thing as I said with Herbert. Allen has basically become the 1B in this scenario because for whatever reason, Mike Williams is now the alpha in this group, okay? So, you got Mike Williams, you're good. You got Keenan Allen, you might want to think about pivoting to somebody else that you've been riding, that's been riding your bench, but been doing really well, but you couldn't put him in because it's Keenan Allen. You got your excuse. Go ahead, put in whoever else you got behind him that you've been dying to play that's got a really good matchup. Next up, tight end. Look, Darren Waller. This kind of depends on Justin Herbert. Okay, and you're like, well, wait a minute. That doesn't make any sense. Justin Herbert's not even his quarterback. You're right. But here's the thing. If it's going to be a blowout, if it's going to be a run game, there's not going to be a lot of passing. there's not going to be a lot of need to throw the ball. I get it's hard to sit Waller. Just lower your expectations for him. That's why I gave you a second one. Robert Tonyan got to be a sit of the week at tight end. He's playing Pittsburgh, guys. I mean, come on. He's very touchdown dependent. They're trying to get Randall Cobb more involved. Come on. It's not that big of a decision. Plus, guess what? Guy I mentioned earlier, Dalton Schultz, he's probably on your waiver wire. Go pick him up. Carolina versus Dallas. Look, first 3 games the Carolinas had been phenomenal. Okay. Yes, last game wasn't exactly what you thought it was going to be, but Carolina versus Dallas, this one, Dallas is going to put up a lot of points. You're not going to want Carolina. Okay. Yeah, you can hold on to them, see how they do, but you're definitely setting them. You're definitely streaming a defense. Who do I stream? Who in the world is out there to stream? I'm glad you asked. You asked some really good questions, guys. I'm proud of y'all. So, defense streamer, guess what? We got the Titans versus the Jets. We got the Bills versus Houston. We got Detroit versus Chicago with that disclaimer. And Cincy versus the Jags. That's right. Cincinnati Bengals, you're up. Guess what? You win Trevor Lawrence, Mr. Turnover Interception himself, plus the fact that if you pressure him, I'm pretty sure he's going to go down. Now, thing is, oh, that's right. We need to talk about a streaming quarterback. It's going to be real easy. Mr. Captain Kirk Cousins. That's right. Captain Kirk is in the building. This dude has been balling out. He's like the number 5 quarterback, and nobody's got him. Nobody wants to start Kirk Cousins. Why? I have no idea. He's got Adam Thielen, who apparently found the fountain of youth. Okay. He's got Justin Jefferson, who is the fountain of youth. He's got an awesome run game. He's got a decent offensive line. Who wouldn't want him? Plus, he's had 8 touchdowns in 3 weeks. 8. That's right. I said 8. Okay. So he faces Cleveland. Who's scared of Cleveland? Especially like if you're running back, sure. Passing wise, I'm not too scared of Cleveland. Okay. So fire up Kirk Cousins. Let me know how that works out for you. Okay. We'll talk about, he's number 3 quarterback. It's 3. That means that Mahomes and Brady are the only ones that are better than him right now. Remember, 8 touchdowns, 3 weeks. Does he have Cook back? Maybe, maybe not. Keep an eye on it. Make sure that you're following the injury reports that come out on Friday. Those are the final injury reports coming out of camp. Then they have Saturday, and then, of course, we got the games. Make sure you set your lineups. Make sure you set them right. And remember, always take care of yourself and always put faith first. Football is awesome, but God is greater. Guys, till next time, good luck this week. I hope that Throttle Up Thursday inspires you. I hope that it answers some questions. If not, if I didn't touch on your team, if I didn't touch on your players, down the bottom, after you subscribe, like, and share, ask me a question and find me on Twitter at Faith, the letter N, Football 1, and we'll knock those out for you before the weekend. Okay, guys? I'll get to you in plenty of time. Till next time, my name's Neil. This is Faith in Football. Be safe. God bless, and we'll see you guys next time.